Hi there, Melissa, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited to be playing along in the fourth instalment of the telephone hop game. This time I'm in the Artistic Arsenal team and I'm up third, I think. And I am lifting Jennifer Gang, I think that's how you say your last name. I'm lifting her layout, and so I'm using my December hip kit because it's what I was working with at the time. And I love that Jennifer did a Christmas layout, so I decided to do a New Year's layout. She had lots of beautiful embellishments on her page. She used a single photo. Her photo, I think, was, I don't know if it was a 4x6, but it was definitely more a landscape-sized photo. I'm using a square photo. This is a photo of my two little girls, and I've got the Instagram filter that was up for New Year's, and I just love this photo. It shows their personalities really well. They were having lunch, I think, and sat together, and we were big on using the filters at this time of the year, and I just snapped this one and it's so cute, and I'm so happy to scrap it because it goes really well with the papers that I've selected and the embellishments that I've selected from the kit for this layout. So Jennifer had a lot of lovely paper layers and a lot of embellishment. I don't use as much embellishment. I've used, you'll see it as I make it, but I'm using some big fussy cut flowers and just a few bits and pieces that I think go with the New Year's theme. I'm also going to use some texture paste because she did as well, and I'm using stars, and I think she may have even used stars as well. So I'm using some Lindy Stamp Gang Magicals, just powders. I can't remember the name of this one, but it's the lighter sort of pink colour, and I'm mixing it with some texture paste. And this is more of a metallic magical, but I found because if you don't use water with them, you're not really activating the sparkle in them, so it ends up quite matte, but I think it looks really pretty on this background paper. And I think this paper could be from Heidi Swap, or yeah, let's have a look. I don't have the branding strip obviously on it. I've got the layout here with me. I made this layout, I think either in late, I think it was late December, so I haven't really looked at it. I'm only just doing my voiceover now, so I'm having to try and remind myself of what I actually did. So yeah, I've mixed it with the texture paste, and then I'm putting it through the exclusive stencil that we got in the kit, and it's just stars and little dots, and it's really pretty. And so I wasn't sure whether this was going to be metallic or not, but it doesn't bother me because I think, like I said, it goes really well. So I'm placing it in a few places, I think 3 or 4 different places on my layout. And I'm not, how do I say this? I sometimes struggle with stencils because they're square shaped, but I don't want the edges, I don't want it to look like a square. So sometimes I struggle with how to use them and how to not end up with them being square. But I think the trick is just to put a bit of texture paste through where you want it and to not go overboard. So here I'm using some Heidi Swap Colour Shine in Gold. It's my favourite. I've said this several times. I'm at the end of that bottle and I've got another bottle to go. So that's good. As a replacement, I'll probably just use some Lindy Stamp Gang in Gold and the Magicals, which you can mix up yourself, and it's quite shimmery. Kaisercraft also has a really a nice gold one, but it's not as metallic and shimmery as the other two. So here I'm wanting to use some of this beautiful paper. I think that one definitely is the Heidi Swap, and this paper must be Heidi Swap. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If you really need to know what they are, if you just search December Hip Kit, you'll be able to find them there linked on the Hip Kit webpage. So better explain that I hurt my little finger. I bent it back doing jiu-jitsu, and I've just buddy taped it, so it's not bad. Just in case you're wondering why or what has happened to me, yeah, it's just to protect it really and give it a rest. That's why I've got it taped. So I'm adding some more paper. I did try to copy Jennifer's paper layers, but I think not use as many. And so I quite like this sort of neutral grey stripe. Reminds me of wallpaper. And once again, I'm sorry about the reflection that you're getting from my light. Okay, just distressing my edges with my close to my heart little edge distresser, and that's one of my kids there. Probably looking at what I'm doing or showing me something. And then because I've got that texture paste, I'm using just some liquid adhesive to glue down my paper layers. and then I know for sure that it's not going to move in the future. So I have found that I've gone back to some layouts recently as I've put other layouts away in my albums, and to be honest, I was a bit shocked because I had glued a thin piece of paper down with some double-sided tape, and I thought double-sided tape was foolproof and never going anywhere, and the piece of paper had lifted up, so that surprised me. Now, prepare yourselves, don't freak out. I'm cutting apart the wreath. I'd already cut a piece from the corner anyway, but I get the paper add-on, so I have another piece of this, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I've already used it. But yeah, I'm just trimming out or fussy cutting this beautiful flower, and I find that if you do have a double piece of wreath kind of paper, these make really beautiful embellishments to add onto your page. Okay, I just had to kind of stop recording there to see what my kids are up to. They're all good. So yeah, I trimmed it out with my bigger scissors, and now I'm just using some detailing scissors to trim out the details. And I love this. Like I said, this paper is so beautiful. I love the colours in this kit. They're really quite soft. You could go with the darker colours as well, but I have gone with the softer ones for this layout. And I think several of the layouts I've made, I've really gone for those soft tones. So if you hear banging, that is my son with a big broom trying to get something off the roof. So yeah, there's always something going on around here. Whenever I try to do a voiceover, there's either neighbours doing things or my kids making noise, but that is life, I guess, living in town with 4 children. So I probably should have sped this up in retrospect. And I must apologise because my video is not going to record the entire process because I didn't realise that my phone was full and I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So apologies for that. Yeah, if you have an iPhone, you do definitely have to clear out your photos every once in a while. So I needed a mat for this photo, and I'm going with the same paper. It's got, I think, a subtle kind of hatch pattern on it. Very subtle. It's also got beautiful splatters that are done on the paper for you, and I just love just a little bit of subtle pattern behind this photo. I didn't want to add anything too bold. I thought it needed something though, so that's why I'm adding it. Sorry, if I seem distracted, it's because I am wondering what he's doing out there. Anyway, so trimming it out, and then I think I'm going to distress the edges as well because that's my thing at the moment. Yeah, so this telephone hop is lots of fun. This is the, I think, 3rd time I've played along now, and it's really fun to watch the progression of the layout. So this time I'm near the front, I'm 3rd, but last time I did it I was, I think, last, and so it was amazing to me what it starts out as and what it ends up being. And so it doesn't have to be a straight lift, it's whatever inspires you or however you want to create, really. So some people will do a pretty close lift, other people will change it up completely. I could have changed the orientation of everything. I could have had those pattern papers coming down and turned my photo around. I could have turned them into banners. I could have embellished more, I could have embellished less, and it's just, yeah, it's really interesting. Some people don't do mixed media, so they won't add the mixed media. Other people will get it and it won't be mixed media and they'll add mixed media. So yeah, it's really fun. And because we make them, I guess, if you're closer to the front, you're making the layout maybe a couple of months before the videos go up, so it's not like it's fresh in your mind either. So it definitely is really cool to see where it goes. So I'm adding some dimension because these are relatively flat. I mean, they're just paper. With this one I'm using some craft foam. With the other one I'm just using some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And yeah, with this one in particular I wanted to lift it up just to provide a bit more dimension from the flat papers that I've layered underneath the photo. So you can see, I mean, I could build these sort of clusters myself with florals, but in this instance all the work's done with me with that pattern paper. And pattern paper is a great way to get extra embellishment to a kit, or even if you're using collection. So these are a lot of exclusive die cuts to the December hip kit. They are designed, I think, by Kim Watson and Kimberly. I had to use that 2020 little glasses because the girls have got the glasses that are from the filter. And Happy New Year banner, of course, as well. And I'm just gluing it down. Sorry, my kids are about to have a tantrum, maybe. They're always wanting me when I am doing a voiceover. And there was another little Happy New Year, but I decided that that was enough. And here, just adding the finishing touches. About that, the two little ones, the ones in this photo just came in, not sure what they wanted. I told them just to go because I've nearly finished this. So there's a few tags in this, and I thought that the tag would make a nice place for my journaling at the top. I love that it's got lines on it, and very soon you're going to see this video come to an end, but you will see my photo of the final layout. And this is quite a simple one for me. I'm using the Joy, I'm calling it Joy Season because, you know, Christmas and New Year's is definitely a joyful season. And I'm using Joy, it comes from, I think, the Snowflake collection, thickers in a kind of a bronzy gold, and Season is just some thickers that come in the kit. So, yeah, I'm just trying to see where it's going to cut off. I'm just cutting off the branding strip. Yeah, that's it. So here's my layout, and apologies once again for my video cutting short. You're now going to head on to Vanessa Bell and you'll see her take on my layout. So thanks so much for watching, and do make sure you follow the hop all the way through.